Welcome back.
Baruch Hashem, we're continuing Vayeira, Abachai Marcheshwan of the Sikha with the Sikha by Avraham Avinu when Hashem appeared to him, and we talked about in here the greatness of the mitzvah. We explained about it here, but first let's hear direct a niggin from the Rebbe. You sing along with him for half a minute, and let us get our mind into the specialness of what we're going to be doing with Hashem, and if we're successful enough by learning this, we can bring the Gula Shlema. And hopefully that's what we have. Everything we have to do, we see at the end of this Sikha, has to be realized that since we've reached such a high special level, because everything's done, everything's finished. So therefore, by the Rebbe Rashab, he was a 4-year-old boy, 5-year-old. He was crying that hurt him. He didn't see this revelation from Hashem. The Rebbe says, since we're now such a special level and everything's done, especially by the Frierdiker Rebbe, which we'll go over inside, he says, so therefore we have this level that everything you do should be in a way that it has to tie into that you're upset that you don't see this. He says, and even when you eat food, that you have to be not satisfied because it's not the food from Mashiach's table.
Oh.
So the same thing over here, that we're learning this Torah from the Rebbe Melch Mashiach, and we should have the same big desire that by learning this, Abba should bless us and should bring the final Gula Shlema. Okay.
I haven't sung in public that many times, so this might be one of the first. So.
Pardon me?
I haven't sung in public that many times, so just lower your expectations. Anyway, priest, what are we starting with?
So let's start. So what did we finish last time?
We didn't get to test yet.
No, we're finishing.
We're not doing the nigga. That's right. We did Ches. We did 8. We're up to 9.
You want to do a nigga? Do a nigga? You have to put the nigga.
But if you want it.
Yeah, just put a nigga in the
Want is relative. Okay. Should we explain what the nigga is or not? Just saying. Okay, they can find out later. Go al Israel mecha b'nei Yackov Yosef. Go al Israel mecha b'nei Yackov Yosef. Ata kel sefer zav yamim Ata.
I don't.
Well, right. Perfect timing because that's when it ended.
Yeah, but it's not as good.
Almost you have props.
It's more I grabbed to sing it again to get it to myself.
It's all good.
Okay.
Anyway, we finished 8. We're up to 9.
So yeah, we finished 8, and 8 said that everything basically we're talking about how everything that we do should be in a way that it's what I would say.
That was 9. That's 9, I think. 8 we said we talked about the story. This is backward. We talked about 8 talked about the answer to the story. Basically, last time we said the Rebbe Rashab, the 5th Rebbe of Chabad, when he was about 4 or 5 different versions, he asked the Tzemach Tzedek, the 3rd Rebbe of Chabad, why did Hashem appear to Avraham, become revealed to Avraham, but to us he does not become revealed to? And he was a little 5-year-old, crying about that. And the Tzemach Tzedek said to him, says, when there's a tzaddik who's 99 years old and he makes a decision to make the covenant with Hashem, the bris with Hashem, then he's fit for Hashem to appear to him. So we had a lot of questions about that. But basically, the explanation in section 8, which we said last time, was that really, it says, really the Rebbe Rashab knew that Hashem, the Shekhinah, Hashem's energy, is really found in everyone when they have the bris milah. Like it explains in Shulchan Aruch that there's different laws.
And that we're all so holy and amazing. Where God is part of us.
Exactly.
And we bring this part of God that's part of us down into this world. So we're walking around like God. We're godly people. Mamish, really godly people. And this had affected from Avraham Avinu from doing the bris. And as a little child, he felt this and understood this.
That's also to everyone, not only Avraham.
And then because it says Avraham Avinu, because it means that we're all inherit everything from our Father. That's the idea that when you inherit the treasures of your father. And this is the true treasure from Avraham Avinu. We inherited from him the revelation that Hashem is part of us.
Yeah.
So therefore, this is what he went. But this is what we're talking about. But he was very upset that he didn't see it.
Yeah. So, but the bris, the essential energy that exists by Avraham, also exists by everyone through the bris, except that by everyone else they don't always see it openly. It says by Avraham he was able to actually perceive the Shekhinah being manifested in him, and that's what the Rebbe Rashab was demanding. He says since Avraham is our father, and He bequeathed everything to us. We should also see the Shekhinah in our own selves. Basically, that's the question.
Everybody in this generation is trying to figure out who and what they are.
Yeah.
So he figured out who and how, who and what he was.
Who? Avraham
Avinu, the Rebbe Rashab, everybody learning the Seichel right now with us. We're figuring out who and what we are. And then we're asking Hashem that we want to feel this. If you're special, you want to feel special. I remember when my kid was a little, one of my kids was little, she was telling me how she's going to have this and do this, and she's going to have all this special power, and she's going to feel special, and she's going to go and do wonderful things for everybody in the world.
Sounds special.
So special. So the high concept of the Rebbe of all this is to understand how special we are, and he understood how special we are, but he says, I know that I'm godly and I'm one with Hashem, but I want to feel it and live it and see it. I want to have it so my everything I'm living in it in every one of my senses. And he was crying because he says that I deserve this because it's mine.
Yeah.
But why don't I see this?
Why don't we see it? And that's what we're going to talk about today, hopefully, in section 9. So basically, at the end of section 8, the basic answer is that Tzemach Tzedek said to him that once a tzaddik is 99 years old and etc., like meaning when Abraham did all the work for 99 years, then he was able to see the revelation. So too, it says, it's going to explain now in section 9, so too, when we do the work to serve Hashem, then we're able to see it openly.
And the work means that when you work on yourself and you become a better person, and day in and day out, he's going to talk about it. Yeah. But when the work means that you refine yourself in such a level that you become a fitting human being to see this great God, this great godliness in a revealed way. You deserve it because of all the good work you did.
The point is, everyone's holy deep down, but the question is, we have to work on ourselves to see it.
And then the Rebbe says we've done all the work, which we'll go into right now because we've done so much. Let's go inside. Okay.
All right. So let's just do free translation as we read we're reading section 9, free translation. So according to this answer, we can switch out whatever. According to this answer that we just said, that we have to work on ourselves to see the revelation. We can also understand the lesson of the parsha. It says Hashem appeared to him in the beginning of the parsha by Avram. It says Hashem appeared to him. It doesn't say the name. So that's relevant for everyone because it says when someone learns and reads in the Torah, it says, and Hashem appeared to him, he needs to know that it's not only referring to Avraham because it doesn't say he appeared to Avraham. Rather, it's referring to him, meaning to the person who's reading it, to each and every person. And it says each and every yid, it says, is a descendant of Avraham, and he entered in the bris of Avraham, and because we said earlier, because Avraham had the bris, that's why he had the revelation of Hashem being revealed to him. So that also applies to each one. Basically, that's so far. And when this knowledge, so that's what everyone has to know. But then that knowledge itself has to ignite within oneself the desire to have the revelation of Hashem being appeared to. Meaning everyone knows that Hashem appeared to each person deep down because everyone's holy deep down, but the point is that it should affect that someone should demand that Hashem should show it to us, basically, and demand of themselves that they should work on themselves to show it.
Because we deserve it. That's who we are.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's not that when you this is all, as I repeat, the Rebbe tells us who we are, and when you start to understand how much you are a part of your God and all the things, then once you understand it, then automatically you want it. Understanding. So this is what the whole Dvar Malchus is, as far as I'm concerned, is explaining to who we are. So we'll go out and bring the final redemption and do whatever it takes.
Exactly.
And so right now, okay, go on. So that's
what we learned from the Rebbe Rashab, and it says in note 63 that the Rebbe Rashab was only a 5-year-old, but even when he was 5, he was already fit to be the leader of the whole generation, and therefore we can learn things even as he was a 5-year-old. So since he was crying about that Hashem not being revealed to him, that he couldn't see the revelation of Hashem, and so now it's going to explain how do we actually work on ourselves specifically. So basically, it says since someone is desiring so much that to see the revelation of Hashem in themselves, it says certainly that will inspire one to do everything that one can to work on themselves to do it. So how do you actually do it? It says it's in the idea, the inyan hamil, the idea of the covenant, the milah, the bris, but it's the idea of it, like
the service, the work.
Yeah, which has metaphorical meanings. We're going to say what it means. It says, so first of all, regarding one's physical body, it says the covenant in your flesh forever. It says that means metaphorically, like what we could do, means that the existence of the body, all 248 limbs and 365 sinews of blood, etc., all of the body should be permeated with holiness and godliness in a way where someone realizes that the entire body is a covenant with Hashem, basically. So basically, everything that someone does in all their limbs of the body should be only like permeated with Hashem's service.
Every finger is like every big part of you is mamish totally tied into God forever and ever.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying. That's a Bris Olam.
For the body.
For the body. That
means
we're talking and doing, so everything I'm doing here is tied in now in eternal covenant with God himself.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thought, Go on.
Exactly. That's what it means, the metaphorical meaning which we could do regarding the body, regarding the covenant. And then we said earlier that Abraham, when he had the bris, then in that merit he inherited the land of Israel. So that's also metaphorical for us, meaning regarding one's portion in the world, whatever thing people do in the world, things they interact with in the world, everything they do in the world is the idea of inheriting the land. That says everything someone does in the world should be permeated with the intention to make everything the land of Israel, meaning everything into a holy land. Everything we interact with in the world should be like the land of Israel. Should be like holy for Hashem's service, which corresponds to Abraham of the bris. And then in the merit of that, he inherited the land. And then it says, through that service of the two things in one's body and in the world, that all of that should be permeated in the service of Hashem. Then through the service of that, one becomes befitting that one should see the revelation of how Hashem is revealed to him and to everything, to everyone, and to everything someone does in the world, basically. That one should see the godliness of the world. And that's the end of section 9. Yeah. The entire world should be a dwelling place for Hashem, basically.
So next we're on Yud.
Section 10.
Yud.
Parshas Vayeira.
And this Inyan is even more emphasized, what we're talking about, than Parshas Vayeira, when this Parsha comes on the 18th day of Malchus.
What is the 18th in Hebrew?
Yudches, Chai.
Chai, what's Chai?
We'll go on to say, the 18th of Malchus. So where in Judaism we count different by different months. So the second month after Rosh Hashanah is Malchus,
which is really the first month of the service in the world. As we get to,
we'll talk to it. Anyway. Let's not overload everything here. Let's just follow the Rebbe.
Underload it.
Okay. Yeah. So therefore, this is the idea the Rebbe is talking about, that this concept that Hashem should be revealed to us in a complete way, that we should see it. And we should feel it, and like Abraham Avinu did. This is that. This is also when that this Shabbos. It's also more emphasized because it came out on Chai Marcheshvan.
What came out on Chai Marcheshvan? What came out
on Shabbos.
The parsha that we're reading. The parsha we're reading
is Shabbos.
Now I get it.
Okay.
But
Chai
wait. Spanish is good. Russian also.
Just let me do it. Okay. So Chai was Russian. What's it mean? It's Chayas. Yudches is also Chai turned around. It shows on the true life of every Jew. What's the true life of every Jew? It's his soul. And the soul is it says part of God himself. Like it draws and it comes, and from this part of God, which is your soul, this gives life to the body, to the physical body. It draws down and comes into it. So in Chai Marcheshvan, which is the life of the month of Marcheshvan, it shows a concept of bringing down and revealing the life, the life of the soul becomes into the body, even in the idea of Obdim, even in mundane daughters. Our occupation starts with in the month of Malcheshvan, because we say that this is the first month of the year that's after the month of Tishrei, and much of Tishrei had all the holidays. It's called like a holy month. And the condition, why does it? We have the month of Tishrei on the condition that we should bring down and permeate holiness and godliness in the daily, in the worldly matters. What are the worldly matters? That's 39 the law Malachas that talks about in Shabbos is really not supposed to work. So working is creative work, what we did to build the Mishkan and the base of Mikdash. So it's talking about like these are weekly works that you bring down the holiness. Which when you even bring this up, you see what bringing down the holiness is, because the holiness is making the base of Mikdash. The holiness is making the Mishkan. That's taking all you got and bringing holiness. So it's interesting. I just thought of that when it came out.
I thought about it after you said it.
That's a year nichas ask us that it should be that you're working with him in order to make from the world, the whole world, a dwelling place of the Eibishter. the Hashem, God. That this is similar like it was in the Mishkan that was made through that. So this is what I the 39 with 49 terminology. According to this, we can see there's a special kesher, a special unity and bonding and relevance to parshas Vayeira, this parsha, to the 18th of Malchus. Why? That the revelation that it says that Hashem appeared to him, this was through the midst of the Milah. It draws down and it permeates as revealed in the life of the soul that's become in the body, chai. And notice that what's mean chai? Chai is your chai, your life. So what's your life? Your life is how the soul comes and gives its godliness that it receives from above into your body. That's your life. So therefore, we have how the soul it becomes in the body, the chai, and it should be drawn down with the chai. And in this life, you should have the super holy life. Even in the worldly daily things, Malchus to recognize that you're godly. I mean, you see people who are godly, people whatever. I see a lot of godly people, Baruch Hashem.
Nice.
I see in 770, especially Balchuvas where I am. I see in Los Angeles. I see a lot. And when it's in Svas, you see these people, just godly people. You recognize that they walk down, they're thinking about God. You say they're just godly people. That's what they are. And that's recognized in what they're doing as they're walking down the street or working or whatever. It's a thing with if you know, it's very around. You just got to know what to look for and where to hang out. But it's really around. I've seen it a lot.
So Chai is the soul and Malchus is like the body in the world, basically, and then
Chai,
two together is together.
And then you tie that in with the Vayeira that the Chai, the two Chais comes from the Eibishter, comes from the part of how you're part of God yourself. So that's the true chayis. That's the chayis amitya of a Jew. So you bring that into the chay that's enlivening the body, and then the body by that same is enlivening with godliness.
And the whole world.
And the whole world. Then you chant. Then you go to the rest of the world. But that's it. That's it. And it's an amazing thing. I mean, you see it. You can see it in people.
Mar Cheshvan is worldly matters. Why is that?
Mar Cheshvan is the first month after the holidays.
Okay, the first month after the holidays. So it's the first month of world. Just nothing to do with the name. Just the idea of the month is just like, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Interesting.
But let's go a little bit further. So therefore, now the 18th of this Shabbos, which is this Shabbos, the 18th of Mar Cheshvan, it's within 3 days of Chaf Mar Cheshvan, the 20th. So what's Chaf Mar Cheshvan? Chaf was the birthday of the Rebbe Rashab, who was a little boy that the story's about. And it says Chaf.
What's Chaf in English?
20.
20, nice.
So it's a Mar Cheshvan. So Chaf in Hebrew is the same letters in Hebrew as Keser, which means the crown. The Esrim of Mitzvah the Chaf. It says Esrim is the 20 is the same gematria as Keser.
Crown.
I think if you add up the letters, I think that's how it works, right? If you add these up, Esrim.
Kaf Mar Cheshvan.
No, but Keser, the crown, is the equivalent of Esrim. If you add these up.
The word Keser, the word crown plus 20.
No, but Esrim is.
If you add the words 20, the words 20.
If you add Ayin 70, Shin, Resh, Yud, Mem, you come up with the Keser. Keser is 520.
520.
And this is.
Wait, 520. Wait, tough is 400. Resh is 200. So
620. I'm saying.
Right. Because at the mitzvahs, 613 mitzvahs plus the 7 Noahide laws or 7 laws of the Rabbanan, and 620, which is the crown. Because all the mitzvahs are like a crown.
That's 5, and then
whatever,
130. It's the same thing. 120, I guess.
So the Hebrew word for 20, Esrim, is the same gematria officially as crown. And that's because it's related. We're going to say it.
Anyway, so Cass, he's just saying. So the 20th day of the month is tied. It has to do with the crown. So now we're talking about putting life into the body. Now we're talking about the crown. The crown is a very, very high level in godliness. Nice. It's above from how that generally we talk about in Chassidus and Kabbalah. It says, how does Hashem reveal Himself? They're called the 10 from the spheres. He has ways, and it talks about it, how He reveals Himself in the world, and how He comes down into the world, and how we're able to grasp godliness. But it says Keser is above all of these. It's above any type of before Hashem starts to reveal. It's too high.
Because it's a crown.
And it's a crown. The dargas at this level, it draws down and it's revealed, and it permeates in the worldly matters. This level of in the month of Amar Cheshvan. And even in a more deeper way, the Rebbe says that the bringing down of the revelation, Vayeira elav Abaya, that Hashem appeared to him in the worldly matters in the month of Mar Cheshvan, it's tied in with the revelation of the essence that's above, and this in from Kesser. So in other words, there's the essence where we talk about etzem, the essence of Hashem, which is a lot of what the Rebbe talks about in all Dvar Malchus, because that whole thing of Mashiach is the revelation of the essence. So it says this is the level that the essence of Hashem is revealed, the level of Kesser, that this is why it's tied in. So in other words, you have that Hashem revealing His greatness to I talk about in the parsha. Then we have all this greatness would be probably like considered like the month before Tishrei, and then you have that it coming down into the physical body. This greatness of godliness is like us going into Mar Cheshvan, the worldly matters. So we have this level of the essence of God that's in us, that's part of us. That's who we are, and this is how we live our life, and that's why we're holy people.
Interesting. Well, what's the difference between the in deeper meaning and the simple meaning? Simple meaning is saying in the 20th of Cheshvan is Kesser, and the deeper meaning is that we said earlier that when Hashem became revealed to him, that refers to how the essence is revealed, and it says that's the idea of Kesser. What's the difference between?
I don't know.
Something. Look into it on your own time.
I don't know. We're not going to go ahead.
Okay.
This is not a... Okay, you want to go?
I always want to go. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go out of the exile.
I'm sorry I asked. Go on.
Okay, I forgive you. Okay. Now, let's add... Okay, section 11, parshas Vayeira, 57-52. And today is the 16th of Cheshvan, by the way, in 5783. So a couple years
16?
after. 16, right? Was it
Well,
16?
it's nighttime. Now it's the 17th.
Oh, now it's the 17th. Okay. It was the 16th a while ago. Anyway, so just to say where we are. Anyway, so there is to add. There's to add in all this, everything. We can always add. Anyway, there's to add in all this regarding the complete and true redemption through Mashiach, because everything's related to Mashiach. So why not? So the main things of the future redemption, which is Hashem will no longer be hidden from us. And it says our eyes will see our teacher, Hashem. Hashem will teach everyone. Our eyes will see it directly, which that's the idea of Hashem became revealed to him. Like Hashem became revealed to Avraham. When Mashiach comes, we'll see Hashem in everything in the ultimate way. Even more than this, even more than that. It says in a verse, the glory of Hashem will be revealed and all flesh will see it. Says, meaning not only will our physical eyes be able to see Hashem in everything, but even the physical flesh itself, besides for the eyes, will be able to see it. All the flesh. It says, which means that there'll be the revelation of Hashem's energy in the entire creation, that is the whole idea of the 18th of Mar Cheshvan, the Chai of the month of Cheshvan, which means that in all of the matters of the world, which, like we said, Mar Cheshvan is the month of working in the world, so in the 18th, in the life force of the Mar Cheshvan, meaning in all the matters of the world, we should see the life. We should reveal the true life of everything, which is the godliness. And that's the idea of the complete redemption. And this idea is also related to the 20th of Cheshvan, Mar Cheshvan, which comes a few days after Shabbos, which is, the 20 is related to Kesser, like we said, the crown, beyond everything. Because the idea of the crown is connected with the kingship of Hashem. Kings wear crowns, makes sense. So that in the future time, it will reveal the kingdom of Hashem, the kingship of Hashem, how Hashem is the king of everything and the ruler of everything. That will be revealed and openly manifested in the entire universe. And that is the universe is Mar Cheshvan, because that's the worldly matters. Like it says, like it says, Hashem will rule forever and ever, La'olam Bad, to the world. Hashem will rule forever in the future time when the entire kingdom will be His, meaning everything in the world will be.
Before we go on, this is something. This is something that's what it means. What's it mean when by the main people think when the gulas happen, I'm going to have this. No. What's going to happen is you're just going to be in God. You're going to just be part of godliness.
Sounds fun.
Everything you're it says, in other words, what's it mean? You're going to grow eyes. It means that everything's going to be just one. Everything you're going to be in. So I tell people. So whatever happened when Mashiach comes, it won't make a big difference what the particulars are, because everything is just God. No matter what you do, it's godliness. And that's what the things that we have to look. That's what it means, that we're just to learn to see Hashem is going to be there. Everything is going to be like self-evident in front of our own eyes. So that's who we are and what we are. And then even on top of that, even more of that level, it's still going to be moving, which is a miracle that, you probably just want to sit and just do nothing, but you're still going to be moving into higher and higher levels from there.
Wow.
But I mean, that's the way you have to look at that. That's the thing what we're looking at. That what this means. That's Mashiach. That's everything's Hashem. So let's go. So there's,
I
there's
can realize that. That's the only Mashiach for them.
But that's where we're at. Not only you can realize that that's where we're at, and that's where we're really at. That's where we think we have to tell ourselves. Like I tell something. I call it brainwashing to the truth.
Interesting hypothesis.
So what's it mean, brainwashing to the truth? So he says, in essence, it's true. For instance, in Tanya, it talks about that there are different meditations that we should use to come close to God and to love God, love Hashem. So one of them is that a person should meditate just like a child will give his life over for his parents, won't even think about himself. He says the same thing that you should do for Hashem. He's our Father. And it says, even though it's not true, and it's not where you're really at, but if you think about it and do about it, we come to and become where you're really at. So it's like, in other words, in truth, that's where you're really at. Every Jew is that level for Hashem, that we just want to do what Hashem wants. We don't care about ourselves. We just want to do it. That's what we care about, is doing what Hashem wants. So every Jew's that level. But you could think you're not that level, or be upset, or I'm fooling myself. That's all like in between. But if you think and talk about it, you kind of unite the two. That's how I see it. This is my own thing.
Nice.
So I mean, so this is what we have when we start. That's what you have. When you have to look, when you're learning stuff, you have to look at it and blow your mind on it, because this is all mind blowing things. And if you just read it through with just like that, then you're not getting the matzias, the essence of godliness that the Rebbe is giving over to us.
Essence. Yeah. So that's exactly. So this next part is related to that. It's a pretty intense part. So hopefully we'll get to it right now. That's the plan. So this is all related. The idea of Mashiach, we said, is revealing Hashem in everything. But we said earlier, by the bris, it says every yid is already Hashem is already in every yid directly. But we only have to reveal that. And it says that idea also is in the complete redemption. That the whole idea of bringing Mashiach is mainly just revealing it. Like we're going to say. That we said earlier that the fact that Hashem is revealed to everyone exists even now. The question is only how to work on ourselves to be able to see that that's what it is. So that's also regarding Mashiach. What does that mean? It says it's known. It says that it's, what is this from? This is from Moreh Naim in Parshas Pinchas. Okay, it's known that in every person of Yisrael there's a spark from the soul of Mashiach, and Mashiach, or that spark of Mashiach, is the Yechida, the essence of the soul. Yechida means Yachid, unified with Hashem. So that every Yid has a spark of Mashiach in them, which is a spark of the general essence of the soul, which is the soul of Mashiach. Meaning the soul of Mashiach is like a general soul that includes all the souls, and every Yid has a spark of that soul, of that general soul in their own soul, and that's the essence of the soul.
That means simply, I mean, if you know, I mean, I had a lot of major experience with the Rebbe Malchus. And people here have. So when you realize how wonderful and amazing he is, and you realize he's part of you, a part of him is in you. You got to think about it. Now you talk about shit, but here, like you see, that somebody like this is beyond belief, and a part of him is in me. That's what we're talking about. Go on. I just wanted to bring it down.
All right, bring it down, bring it up in the middle. Yeah. So every Yid has a spark of Mashiach, which is the general Mashiach. The soul of Mashiach is the general soul, and every Yid has a spark of that in their own soul, which is the essence of their soul. And therefore, every Yid is called a star, which is the word star is the name of Mashiach, one of the names of Mashiach, like it says regarding the prophecy of Mashiach. Says a star will come out of the people of Yackov. So it says a star will come from Yackov. The simple meaning is different meanings of metaphorical meanings of star.
Shot out a star from Yackov.
Shot out a star from Yackov. So the simple meaning is like star has different metaphorical meanings, but now saying that the word star is actually one of the names of Mashiach, interestingly. And this is stressed more even by little children, like we're talking the whole time about the Rebbe Yashab being a 5-year-old, and the whole point of the kids recognizing Yashab even more. It says that it says in the Talmud that children are called Mashiach. It says in one of the verses, "Don't touch my Mashiach, my Mashiach." It's explained in Tractate Shabbos. So anyway, so now this is a new novelty that it says afterwards, that there is to say that the level of the Yechida, with essence of the soul, which is the spark of Mashiach, is revealed even more by kids, meaning that than other people. And the reason for that is because children, they don't have so much intellect and other things going on in their soul. It says no, the kochos panimim, the inner powers, so to speak. It means like they don't have so much intellect, so much awareness. They just have simplicity, and that's the idea of the essence of the soul.
Childlike.
Exactly. Nice.
He's very childlike. Go on.
Nice. And it says, so this idea of the spark of Mashiach being revealed in everyone is made in actuality through each and every person from the people of Yisrael doing his shlichus, his mission in life, which is also agency.
Before you go on further,
Yeah,
but when Rebbe says Vayesh Lemor, it means it's a new thing that nobody ever put together before.
Nice.
So it's like it's a new present. And what was the present? The Rebbe talks about how the children have a special higher level and it's more recognized the essence of God in the children than anybody else. And he explains how that works. I mean, I just want to point out this is it's amazing stuff.
Part of the novelty we said in the parentheses, and therefore that's why it says that children realize the essence of Hashem. When a child prays, they don't understand all the Kabbalistic energies, how Hashem relates to the world. They just know Hashem. That's the essence of Hashem. We said in the parentheses here, that's why the children realize the essence of Hashem, the Atzmos, because the essence of the soul, which is the soul of Mashiach, which is like connected with the Atzmos, is revealed in the children more than other people. So they recognize the essence of Hashem more than others. Anyway, so we're saying this idea of bringing out the spark of Mashiach in every soul is made through each and every one doing their mission in life, the shlichus, the agency also, the mission that they were given from the Holy One, blessed be He, from Hashem. And how do we know that? Because even the word for agent in Hebrew, secret agent, shliach, is agent. So if you add the letter yud in Hebrew, which is 10, then that whole number is, we'll get to a second. That hints to the, okay, anyway, so take the word shliach, which is agent. We'll get back to that in a second. Then also, you also take another letter, yud, which is 10. And the 10 refers to the 10 powers of the soul, which is explained in other places. Whatever, intellect, emotions, etc. 10 aspects of the soul. And
that's how like you said, the power, that's how we relate to the world. Exactly. Our soul, our love for things, our fear of things, they're all different powers. So this says, you use all of these, go on.
Yeah, just like Hashem relates to the world with 10 spheros, we also relate to the world with 10 aspects of the soul.
So how a Jew lives and what he does with his whole being,
So it says all of the one's powers of the soul, all the 10 powers of this, how one relates to the world, they all become, basically, one uses all of them for one's mission in life, basically. And then when one does that, then you add the 10 to the word shliach in Hebrew, and then you have the same gematria, the same numerical value of the word Mashiach. So basically, everyone has a mission in life, and through taking the 10 powers of one's soul and using the 10 powers of one's souls for that mission in life, then every person becomes Mashiach, because they reveal the inner Mashiach in them. And that reveals a spark of Mashiach that's in each person, which is the Yechidah, the essence of the soul, which is revealed and permeates in one's physical body, and not only in one physical body, but also in the physical matters that one interacts with in the world, and to the extent that it says all the sparks of Mashiach that are in the whole people of Israel combined together, and then that causes the revelation and the actual arrival of the actual Mashiach, our righteous Mashiach, like the actual person Mashiach, then that will actually reveal Mashiach. Then it says, and then when the person Mashiach is revealed, then there will be the revelation of Hashem in all the Jewish people. Like it says, Hashem appeared to him, each and every one, basically. And in the world, which is the idea of the 18th of Mar Cheshvan. Mar Cheshvan is the world, the 18th is Chai. And that will happen in the ultimate, complete way. And this idea is in this idea, we also have a lesson from the parshas of Vayeira, basically, which is, what is the main lesson? It says, each and every person, what do we actually do with that knowledge that we just said? Each and every person of the people of Israel needs to desire greatly and demand to have the revelation of, quote, and Hashem revealed to him. We need to demand that Hashem revealed to each and every one in the complete and true redemption. and to do everything that one can to become befitting to reveal the complete redemption through the fact that everything one does in the world should be done in a way which is befitting to the complete redemption, basically.
So in other words, Rebbe says if we live nice, holy Jews and do wonderful things and help each other out, and that's what we're into, just being really holy and not only being asking Hashem, part of it is asking Hashem to bring the total redemption, and just live this way. This is what we're supposed to do. And that we live this way, then Rebbe says the big thing is we should have this big desire that Hashem should finally take us home, that we deserve it. In other words, that's a thing when you deserve something. That's why it says that we demand Hashem right now to bring Geula Shlema because we deserve it. We've done the work.
Sure.
And that was the same thing like the little child who was a tzaddik. He was crying. He was, how does a child demand something? They throw a temper tantrum. They cry. That's their, ad masai. And he says it's not right. So that's what we're talking. It's amazing stuff. But was that?
I have to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
go.
let's.
There you go.
Okay.
See you when Moshe comes.